Okay, let's unpack this. Solution-focused brief therapy, SFBT.
Right.
We're diving into the workbook by Dr. Elton Kazangsi, really trying to get the core of how you make big changes fast by looking at solutions, not, the problems.
Yeah, and Dr. Kazangsi himself brings a really interesting background to this. He's a psychologist, CEO of EMI Italy, but also draws from things like martial arts, karate, Tai Chi plus Gestalt, NLP, EMDR, a real mix.
That makes sense why SFBT would appeal then. It's short term, right? Like 4 to 6 sessions.
Exactly. The whole idea is quick change.
Which feels, well, pretty radical compared to some therapy models. The idea that you don't always need to dig deep into the why of the problem.
It really is. SFBT assumes change is possible, maybe even already happening in tiny ways. It's like your language, how you talk about your desired future. That's the map.
So less excavation, more building, reinforcing what works.
Precisely. Finding skills, coping mechanisms that you've used before, maybe without even realizing how effective they were.
Okay, let's get into the foundations. It pulls from Milton Erickson's work in the 20th century. He was known for being a bit unconventional.
Oh, definitely. And SFPT has these core concepts, almost rules, that sound simple but really challenge traditional thinking.
Like what? Give us the highlights.
Okay, first one. If something works, don't fix it.
Huh. Okay, sounds obvious, but probably profound in practice. Don't overanalyze success.
Exactly. And the flip side, if it doesn't work, don't repeat it. Do something different.
Again, simple but powerful. It cuts through that feeling of being stuck, doesn't it? It suggests the solution isn't necessarily like buried in the problem's origin story.
That's the core belief. The solution might be totally unrelated to how the problem started. The therapist's role is collaborative, using what you bring, your strengths, your ways of coping.
Right. Not imposing a framework, but working with what's already there.
Yes. It's about building that future, not dissecting the past causes.
So if we're not digging into the past, we need tools for that future building. The workbook mentions 3 key techniques. The first one sounds dramatic. The miracle question.
Ah, yes. The miracle question. It's pretty clever. It sidesteps the current problem entirely.
How does it work exactly?
You ask the client to imagine. Suppose tonight, while you're asleep, a miracle happens, and the problem that brought you here is solved. But you're asleep, so you don't know what happened. What's the first small thing you'll notice tomorrow morning that tells you the miracle occurred?
Interesting. So you don't ask how it happened, but what the evidence would be, like what you'd see or do differently.
Exactly. Or what will your spouse notice? Or your kids? It forces you to get really concrete and behavioral.
So it moves from a vague feeling of better to actual observable actions. Makes sense. It makes the goal feel more real, more achievable now.
Precisely. It primes you for noticing those small changes when they happen.
Which leads nicely into the second tool, scaling questions, using numbers, 0 to 10.
Right. This seems simple, maybe a bit basic, but it's incredibly useful for tracking progress and identifying resources.
So you ask, on a scale of 0 to 10, where 10 is the miracle and 0 is the worst it's been, where are you today?
Yes. And crucially, what tells you you're at that number, say a 3, and not a 2 or a 1?
Why that specific phrasing? Focusing on why it's not lower.
Because it immediately gets the person thinking about what they're already doing that's working, even just a little bit.
Yeah.
It highlights existing strengths, existing coping.
Got it. You're anchoring them in their own capability.
Exactly. Then the next step feels much smaller. What would need to happen for you to move just 1 point higher, maybe to a 4? It breaks down progress into manageable chunks.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And the third tool, finding exceptions in resources.
Yeah, this is where the therapist is kind of like a detective for good stuff.
Huh. A positive detective.
Right. They're actively looking for exceptions.
Yeah.
Those times. Maybe just moments when the problem wasn't happening or was less severe.
So when was the last time you felt even a little bit better? What was different then?
Exactly that. And also encouraging problem-free talk. Asking about your hobbies, your friends, times you felt competent or happy, even if unrelated to the presenting issue.
It's about reminding you of your own resources, your strengths, the parts of your life that are working.
Yes. Recognizing success, however small, and figuring out how to replicate it.
So wrapping this up, the big takeaway seems to be, well, that change is always happening, and you, the client, actually have the answers already.
That's the fundamental belief. It's empowering. The therapist is more like a guide helping you see the solutions you're already generating. You're the expert on your own life.
It really shifts the dynamic. Okay, a final thought to leave everyone with. Steve DeShazer, one of the SFBT pioneers, said therapy should take for as long as it takes and not one session more.
Powerful. Intentional brevity.
So think about that. If you approached one of your own challenges, assuming the best outcome is, in some small way, already starting to happen, how might that change what you do today? What's one tiny functional change you're already making or could make that points toward that better future, something to chew on?